Prihat Asih, SA MSI AKCSRS from University of Merdeka Malang, Indonesia. And the last, Kazi Sohak, PhD from Ural Federal University, Russia. We also would like to extend our warmest greeting to the head of our institution, the chairman of the Foundation of Merdeka Malang, director and vice rector of the University of Merdeka Malang, the director of postgraduate program, the deans of the faculties, and the honorable guests and participants of this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin with the conference, I would like to introduce you to the agenda for today's event. First, we will begin the event by singing the national anthem of Indonesia. Second, we will listen to the reporting speech from the conference chairman. Third, we will listen to the welcome speech from the director of the postgraduate program, University of Merdeka Malang. Fourth, welcome greeting from the rector of the University of Merdeka Malang and opening of the conference, represented by Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of the University of Merdeka Malang. Fifth, prayer for opening the conference. Sixth, first section of speakers. 7, break. 8, parallel session. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin with our main event, we would like to invite you to sing to Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up. And please observe the proper decorum for the singing of the national anthem. We would like to invite the conference chairman to deliver his reporting speech. Please welcome Dr. Bambang Supriyadi, MM.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greeting to all of you. Honorable Chairman of University of Merdeka Malang Foundation and his staff. Honorable Rector of University of Merdeka Malang, all respective Vice Rectors, Directors, undergraduate school deans, and all structure officers of University of Merdeka Malang, of University of Merdeka Malang, all respective guests and participants of 2023 International Conference. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, praise to the Almighty God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that always give our head strength and chance to we can join and attend an opening and today's international conference. This year, the main theme of the 2023 International Conference is sustainability of green economics for anticipating global recession. Our consideration is sustainability and environment conservation for the humanity and our next generation. They have been included in the national agenda and even international one. However, they have not getting serious attention. In today's international conference, there are around 85 participants for ICAS and 75 participants for ICONIS from various scientific backgrounds, from Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Philippines, Cambodia, Malaysia, Libya, North Africa, and South Africa. This conference is also attended by 300 participants on site and online. In accordance with that, the Committee of 2023 International Conference proudly invited the following experts from different countries for ICAS, namely Jenderal Polisi Purnawirawan, Professor Dr. Andes Haj Muhammad Tito Karnavian, PA, MA, PhD, Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Kaniston Terpau Rashid from University, Thailand, Dr. Farhana Begum, MPhil, PhD, University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh, Kasih Sohag, PhD, Ural Federal University, Russia, Professor Ruhana Begum, Rajshahi University, Bangladesh, Dr. Prihat Ase, SA, MSc, AK, CSR, University of Merdeka Malang. And then ICON is the 2023 International Conference Committee invite the following experts from various countries, namely from Professor Pratikno MSoc, MC, Minister of State Secretary of Indonesia, Dr. Aris Rodaro Malosa, Central Philippine University, Dr. Sofia Pram, PhD, Kambuja Technology and Science University, Professor Dr. Purwo Santoso, MA, PhD, University of Gajah Mada, Indonesia. And then Dr. Sukadi, MSc, University of Merdeka Malang, Indonesia. To all the invited speakers, we would like to sincerely give our thanks for their valuable contribution. We also would like to say thank you to the chairman of foundation and rector University of Merdeka Malang, who has given his endless support. The last, our thank you all the guests, presenters, and participants of the international conference for their active participation. Finally, we would like to invite the Honorable Rector of University of Merdeka Malang, Professor Dr. Anwar Sanusi, SA, MC, to open today's international conference. Thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Bambang Supriyadi. Now we are inviting the director of postgraduate program to give her welcome remarks. Please welcome Professor Dr. Grahita Chandrarin, MSI AKCA.
Thank you for the opportunity given to me. It is a very nice occasion for all of us to be here today to conduct international conference, the 8th International Conference on Sustainability. Honorable Rector of Universitas Merdeka Malang and all Vice Rectors, Honorable Deans and Head of Faculty of Universitas Merdeka Malang, Honorable Chairmen of Universitas Merdeka Malang Foundation, Bapak Brigjen Purnawirawan Adam Suwarno Pangeran, distinguished keynote speakers, Bapak Jenderal Polisi Purnawirawan Profesor Muhammad Tito Karnavian, MA PhD, Minister of Home Affairs of Indonesia, Profesor Dr. Praktikneng M.Sos SE, Minister of State Secretary of Indonesia, the distinguished invited speakers, Dr. Kanitson Tadatpopong from Rangsit University, thank you for coming. And then distinguished invited speaker, Dr. Fahana Begum from University of Rangsit, Bangladesh, Professor Dr. Ruksana from University Raksadi, Bangladesh, Kasih Sohak PhD from Ural Federal University Russia, Dr. Aries Roda Romalosa from Central Philippine University, Dr. Sofia Frums, PhD from Cambodia Technology and Science University, Professor Purwo Santoso, MA PhD from Universitas Gadjah Mada, Yogyakarta, Indonesia, Dr. Prihat AC, CA, CSRR, and Dr. Sukarji from Universitas Merdeka Malang, Indonesia, all respected guests, presenters, and participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say Alhamdulillah and praise the Almighty God who has given His endless blessing to all of us so that we all can participate in today's international conference. This international conference, which is initiated by Graduate School, is an annual event conducted by Universitas Merdeka Malang. This year conference, which is conducted for 2 days, September 15 and 16, is the 8th for ICOS, is used to be ICGSS, and the 4th for ICONIS, and both of them focus on sustainability. It is important that such a scientific forum is annually conducted since it can be used as a place for scientists and researchers to share their ideas, thoughts, and research results. By doing this, they have contributed solution of the problem faced by community and nation, and even for sake of humanity. Both of the international conference have various and challenges 17 sub-themes. Among others are sustainability of green economics for anticipating global recession, green accounting, young entrepreneurship and creative economic, digital public service in education and health, and innovative clean energy in cities. This is why I truly hope that this year's international conference will be able to give contribution to the science enhanced on its field. Furthermore, I would to inform you that the selected papers will be possibility published in preceding index by Web of Science. On behalf of Graduate School, I would like to say thank you and highly appreciate all the keynote speakers and the invited speakers on this 2023 international conferences, which are from Indonesia, Thailand, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Philippines, Cambodia, Russia, and Africa. I also would like to say thank you to Chairman of Universitas Merdeka Malang Foundation, who always support this kind of scientific events on forum. Next, my sincere thank you go to all the guests, presenters, and participants for their activity, for active participation. Finally, thank you all, the committee members that have worked hard to make this international conference happen. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq walhidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, to Professor Grahita, please stay there because today Professor Grahita want to launch of the Indonesian Journal of Green Economics.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, today we launch the Indonesian Journal of Green Economics, a significant achievement by the doctoral program in economics at Universitas Merdeka Malang. This journal is our commitment to advancing green economics, addressing environmental sustainability, economic development, and social equity. It's platform for researchers and scholars to share insight and solution. I thank all involved, the editorial board, reviewers, authors, and our academic community. I encourage active participation to drive positive change. Let's embark on this academic journey together, committed to greener future. Thank you very much. Let's embark on this academic journey together. Thank you. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Now, we would like to invite the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of the University of Merdeka, Malang, to give his opening speech and to open the conference officially. Please welcome Dr. Sukardi, MSc.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Prosperity for all of us. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Rahayu. The Honorable Minister of State Secretary, Bapak Profesor Dr. Pratikno, PhD. The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, Bapak Profesor Dr. Tito Karnavian, PhD. The respectable panelists and my deep appreciation to the speakers and participants. Alhamdulillah, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has given us health and happiness so that we can join in hybrid conference which allow us to meet even though we are separated by space and distance. This international conference event is an important academic presentation organized by the postgraduate program University of Merdeka, Malang. The objective of this conference is to contribute to academic discourse in a cross-scientific debate on sustainable development. Many researchers from various countries will share knowledge, experience, and research finding in this forum for the main goal making development stronger and useful for humanity. This academic discourse is important also to take many positive experiences and the best practices as guiding principles. The commitment toward the development agenda, especially human and ecological development, is within the framework of the implementation of Freedom to Learn, Merdeka Belajar, Kampus Merdeka, or MBKM. The main theme of both the IGGS and 4th ICONIS International Conference in 2023 is based on Sustainable Development Agenda, and the sub-theme of this conference are humanitarian, economic, culture, society, politics, and justice issues. To this forum, we hope to share innovative ideas and perspectives that will accelerate the discovery of new and transformative direction in development issues, so that they are useful for improving the quality of life and human prosperity, especially in the great move of digital technology influence. We hope this conference will bring out ideas about progressive, adaptive, and flexible development policies for the present and future. Finally, on behalf of Rector Pascasarjana, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, officially the 8th IGGS and 4th ICONIS International Conference are open. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. God bless. Om Santi Santi Om. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you. And give applause to the opening the conference officially. Thank you, Dr. Sukardi. Now, we will invite Professor Dr. Agus Solahuddin MS to lead our prayer recitation section. May our event today will be blessed and run successfully. Please welcome Professor Dr. Agus Solahuddin. Time is yours. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before proceeding to our main event, I would like to thank you for joining us in Zoom meeting platform. You can also join us in our YouTube live streaming channel at Unmer channel. Now, please allow me to read the Zoom meeting instruction for the conference participant. All of the participants must have their camera on at all times during the conference. Please use the virtual background that will be provided in the chat box. If you have any question, please feel free to interact with today's speakers. Please type in your question to Zoom chat box. Kindly state your name and your organization or affiliation. The moderator will read the question after the presentation of each speakers. Our honorable guests and participants, we finally begin with our main section of today's event, which is the international conference entitled 8th International Conference on Sustainability 2023. And this section will be led by our moderator, Dr. Andini Riswandini, SAMSE. Please welcome Dr. Andini Riswandini, SEMSE. Give applause to our moderator today.
Thank you, Mr. Iwan Darmawan, our MC. Hello, everyone. Once again, a very good morning. Greetings from University of Merdeka, Malang. I hope all of you are doing well. My name is Andini Riswandini. I am your moderator for today's conference. It is my pleasure to welcome the keynote speaker, all of the speakers and the participants of today's conference with the title 8th International Conference of Sustainability 2023, held by the postgraduate program, University of Merdeka, Malang. Ladies and gentlemen, to start with the main event of this international conference, please welcome our keynote speaker, Indonesia Minister of Home Affairs, His Excellency Jenderal Polisi Purnawirawan, Professor Haji Muhammad Tito Karnavian, BA, MA, PhD.
Social Science, Malang Merdeka University. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, claims that global economic growth in 2023 is estimated at 2.8%, which is down from 3.4% in the year of 2022. As for Indonesia, IMF projects that Indonesia's economic growth in 2023 will still be almost similar to the previous year, more or less 5%. In the year 2022, Indonesia achieved economic growth of 5.3%. This year, up to August, several indicators show that Indonesia's economic performance has been quite satisfactory. This can be seen from Indonesia's economic growth figures. In the second quarter, year on year of the year 2023, which maintained at 5.17%. This situation is quite stable compared to other countries, say like Europe, which experienced minus economic growth in 2 consecutive quarters. Germany, another instance, with economic growth of minus 0.2%, the UK 0.2%, and even the United States 2.6%. Our inflation rate also maintained more or less around 3%. So it is quite reasonable, since Indonesia is not only consuming country but also producing country, so making a balance between consumption and production. Yet there are several challenges we must address. One of the critical one is that economic sustainability in the future. Research from Commonwealth Research Institute shows that sustainable economic growth can only be achieved by investing in low carbon, non-polluting development models. The idea of an inclusive green economy refers to an economic growth model that is efficient, environmentally friendly, and resource just. The term of green economy is defined by the World Resources Institute as an alternative vision for growth and development, creates growth and improvement in people's life in a way that is consistent with sustainable development. In addition, an inclusive, environmentally friendly economy is an economy that embodies interconnected economic, social, and environmental commitments. An inclusive, environmentally friendly economy considers as a whole of society approach in designing drivers of economic growth, focusing on sustainable means of production, along with sustainable and responsible consumption and accountable consumption of economic goods and services. The main sectors that contribute are renewable energy, environmentally friendly buildings, transportation, water management, waste management, and land management. The transition to inclusive, environmentally friendly economic requires strong policy and institutional support. Also, political certainty and participatory approach between public, private sectors, and community as stakeholders. Indonesia continues to strive to take strategic action in implementing a green economy within the framework of economic transformation. The green economy is expected to not only increase GDP growth, but also makes a significant contribution to environmental sustainability, resource efficiency, and of course, social justice. The government efforts aim at encouraging Indonesia to get rid of the middle income trap in accordance with Indonesia's vision of the year 2045. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical tensions such as Russian-Ukraine war have eroded our economy in many ways. For this reason, green economy concept must be enforced nationally, locally, and even internationally in order to promote our economy and boost economy, but at the same time maintaining the stability of our climate, our environment, so that it can be sustainable for our future, for our grandchildren, our great-children, and even our great-great-grandchildren, such as low-carbon development. Global demands to encourage sustainable development have become a necessity and mandatory. Hence, Indonesia is committed to contributing to achieve sustainable development goals that balance economic, social, and environmental aspects. Low carbon and climate resilience development are also priority agenda for our government. This is also a form of Indonesia's commitment in the Paris Climate Agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 29% in the year of 2030. President Joko Widodo on various occasions has encouraged the reorientation of economic development towards a green economy through a number of strategies, such as low carbon development as stated in the 2020 and 2024 National Medium-Term Development Plan, net zero emissions policy through roadmap to achieve the net zero emission targeting in 2060, including net sink in the forestry and land sectors in the year of 2030. Also providing a number of green stimulus to encourage increasing realization of the green economy. One focus that needs to get our collective attention in the future is that economic and digital transformation in the government sector. The government should be continuing to develop the concept of smart cities and public service malls. Smart city concepts will simplify all matters, including effective and efficient government, better public services provisions for the community, and improve the quality of life and implement sustainable innovation by balancing economy, social, culture, and the aspect of environment. As an implementation of the smart city concept, in order to facilitate public services in the regions, currently we have some 103 public service malls in Indonesia. It is hoped that digital government concepts such as public service malls, which are already efficient, such as in Regency of Banyuwangi, East Java province, and Badung Regency in the province of Bali, can be further developed and replicated in order to face increasingly difficult future challenges. Ministry of Home Affairs plays a critical role in implementing smart city concept in Indonesia. Among them are conducting consultation related to business processes and coordinating the implementation of electronic-based government system services in all local governments. Apart from that, our ministry has got a policy towards developing smart cities that includes institutions, people, and technology with information and communication as an enabler. There are basic non-technological components need to be considered as well, such as government and institutions, public policy, management, organization, and of course, the society, the people. Finally, I would like to congratulate Merdeka University Malang as the host of the 8th International Conference of Graduate School on Sustainability and the 4th International Conference in Social Science. I hope that through this event it can become a means of sharing knowledge and provide academic-based input to the government and private sector to create a better and more sustainable future for the world. Once again, congratulations for organizing these really valuable occasions. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency Minister of Home Affairs, Professor Muhammad Tito Karnavian, for a very insightful presentation. As a token of gratitude, please kindly accept the certificate of appreciation. Next, I will invite the speakers of today's conference to join me here to present their presentation. Please kindly join me in front. Dr. Kanitson Tatpawpong from Rangsit University, Thailand, Dr. Prihat Asih, AKCA CSRS from University of Merdeka, Malang, Dr. Farhana Begum, MPhil PhD from University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh, Professor Ruksana Begum from University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh, and Dr. Kazi Zohag is joining using Zoom meeting platform, please.
That's okay. Maybe this side a bit because let Dr. Prihat so she can join inside. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce our first speaker, Assistant Professor Kanitson Tatpawpong, PhD. She serves as International Program Director at Rangsit University, Thailand.
Thank you very much, Andini. And very good morning, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice to be here. Thank you for having me here the second time. I came to Malang, that was in, if I remember well, 2019. That's actually before the COVID. And then here again I am at Malang, a very nice, beautiful, peaceful country and city. The topic today is about the power of AI, the artificial intelligence. I think every one of us well aware of the advancement of technology. Okay, this AI has come to us. Recently, it has been talked a lot about the AI and how the AI will kind of interrupt the way we work, the way we use our life, and especially in the education, okay, in the economics, in the manufacturing industries, actually in any sector, okay. And the topic today is like how the AI transform accountancy landscape, but it's not just accounting per se. Actually, it's in any area, any aspect, or any dimension, you know, that we have the interruption of this technology. But to say, when we say disruption, it seems to be kind of negative, but actually there are many positive sides of the AI. I think we are also well aware of that. And when we say about the AI, we have the, okay, yes, we have the PowerPoint over there. And artificial intelligence, AI, maybe we have heard the word of AI for a few years back, started for a few years back. But actually AI was originally proposed and created the word by John McCarthy in the year 1955. That was many years ago, but just recently, I think about 5 years, not more than 10 years that we heard about the word of AI, but it was actually originally created, the word of the AI in 1955. And this one, the origin definition of the AI is the engineering and science to build intelligence machines. And these machines will help to us to think, it can think and also act like humans. Okay, and this one, AI can carry out the deep learning and also self-learning. And for this AI, then it comes to the education, it comes to the manufacturing companies or the industries. Then, yeah, we have the AI. We have talked about a lot of the AI and the implication of the AI in the financial field. Okay. Okay, then how the application of the AI, okay, not this one, I have to back this one. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, this one, the application of the AI, you know, in the financial fields. And if someone who attend this conference, you know, and you are in economics and you are in finance, you know, we have got AI to use kind of the software in helping us to make the better or quicker decisions in terms of investments. And this AI can also help with some repetitive works. A lot of repetitive work can be done by the AI. And how the AI is changing the role of accountancy. Let's say if for the accounting career, if you are the students, postgrad students or undergrad students in accounting, in finance or in economics, you know, nowadays we have the software to use in our work, in our career. The working methods and also the business model will also be transformed because we are using the AI to, we call right now it's the fourth industrial revolution. You know, now it's not like using the labor intensive, but it is the kind of the capital intensive and comes to the technology. Okay, for accountants, okay, when they practice in the business, they also have to change because the practice to say like we do the accounting journals, like the general journals, or doing performing the financial statements. This one can be done faster, quicker, and more accurate by using the software. And this is one type of the AI. Okay. And how AI is changing the role in accountancy, then with the advancement of technology, and we use the software in our work, then the organizations has to embrace, let's say, have to embrace the technology that comes. If we think about the AI and we have the software, then the organizations, have to also change. The organization that embrace the technology, the management or the executive of the companies, we have to lead the organization to embrace this technology. Or otherwise, these companies that have not embraced the new technology will be left behind. And you think about the COVID-19, if, for example, when we had the COVID-19, right, that's the year in 2019, but we started to have the impact of the COVID-19 in 2020, right, because we started to have COVID-19 in December 2019. But if we have that, of course, we have the COVID-19, but later on, we have to embrace the technology. Now the learning aspects also change. We change to online, right? With the meetings, right now you see very normal to have the on-site, online conference. It's a bridging, right? We have the hybrid, we call hybrid conference, it's very normal. But you think that, 5 years ago, having the hybrid, I couldn't imagine, right? We couldn't think of how it would be, but right now, very easy, okay? And then this one, how the AI is changing the role of accountancy, changing the role of the economics guys, or changing the way that we incorporate in the organization. Okay, this one, how the AI is changing the role. I like to speak about some statistics. Let's say in 2018. Okay, that was before the COVID-19. There's the World Economic Forum, the Forums for the Future of the Jobs report in the 2018, they had the report. And you see this statistic, you will see the changes. Because it said that an average of 71% of the total task force were performed by humans. But that was 2018. 21% performed by human. Well, when we count the number of hours, but and use the machine only 29%. Okay, 21 to 29. That was 2018. But they say that by 2020, which is we passed already. Now we are in 2023. They said that the average is also shift. They said that the work that carried out by human, 58%. 58% to 42, right? 58, 42. But 4 years ago, that 2018, they said that 71 and 29. You see the shift, shifting from using more labor, whatever the works will be, to be the machines. Okay, and that's one of the things that is changed in our workforce. And Also, by 2020, by the same report of the World Economic Forums, also said that by 2020, 62% of the organization's information and data will be processing using the information search or the transmissions tasks will be performed by the machine. Okay, that's on 62% of the organization's data. We are talking about the data now, not the number of the hours that performed by laborers. Now the data, because now data comes to us faster than before, and it's a massive of data, then that's why we call big data. Right? The big data is massive of data, and it comes to many different forms. It could be very structured data or unstructured or semi-structured data. And like, for example, we have Shopee, right? In Indonesia, we have Shopee. Shopee, yes. You purchase things online, right? And nowadays we buy everything online. Yeah. But still, we still like to go to shop in the shop location as well. But we combine both, okay? But more and more will be on online shopping. Then even fruits to eat for the daily consumption, we still can buy from Shopee. We can buy bread from Shopee. We can buy anything from Shopee. And you think about the data that Shopee got. You know, nowadays that everyone purchases things online, and Shopee has the data, and then they know that what kind of products that are largely consumed by the customers. Then they can do the promotion campaign, better promotion campaign. Now for the poster, the paper one, you know, nowadays I rarely seen. So, in the past, let's say 10, 20 years ago, we see the poster, we see the brochure, what kind of things that will get the discount, you know, at the mid-year sale or the last year's end of the year sale, like that. But nowadays, no. We have the campaign online, you know, like we have 11/11. Do you have that one? 11/11.
11/11, 12/12.
12/12, then 10/10. And then it could be anything. That's the campaign, right? And this one, the data nowadays is the new gold. New gold. Okay? Then they said that if you acquire the data, a large data, then that you can benefit, you can take advantage from having such data. And without the AI, you know, it will be very hard to acquire such information. Okay? And AI also is changing the role in the way we work, like for accountants. With the COVID-19 again, COVID-19 is the best trigger for this changing. For thinking about accounting works, you know, we have to perform the audit on site. You know, during the COVID-19, we do remote auditing. Remote auditing means that we don't go to the site or to the location of the customers, but we do it online, like that. You know, then the way we do the works will also change. Previously, accountants will perform financial statements. Now, no need. No need to perform. Once you have the bill, the invoice, you scan the invoice, and it will be recorded in the general journal, post to the general ledger, and ready for the financial statements. Then what is the role of accountants then? Okay, and the accounting student will say, oh, then what should I do in the future? Now the role has to change. Instead of doing that work, you know, we change the role to be the assistant, to be the analyst for the companies, you know, for the organizations. Then changing from doing some repetitive works to be more on thinking, more on analyzing the data. Because the persons who do best in numbers is accountants still. You know, even those are performed by machine or by the software, but the accountants, the persons, got to be the one who interpret that. Okay, and also the next one, the skill. Okay, the skill shift. we need to learn the new skill. We, not just only accountants, I would say every one of us. Previously, we don't even know how to do the shopping online on mobile phone. Nowadays, very easy, right? Buy every day. We can buy everything, small things to big things from online. Then the skill that we need to learn for the students, I would like to say, for postgrad students, we have the postgrad students, master students, and also the PhD students. I would say the AI. I just talked to Professor Karahita that at my university, I am teaching also, apart from the accounting I'm teaching, I also teaching research methods course. Now, I don't teach the students how to do the synthesis metrics for literature review anymore. For this year, I don't do that. Because the creation of the chat GPT, okay, then the students can do a lot of things using the chat GPT. We cannot stop them, but we have to be smarter to use this software. Now with the synthesis metrics, we used also the AI to do that. But we have to be smarter, otherwise we commit a plagiarism, right? Not just everything that's produced from the AI, we can take it right away. Now, this year, I changed the teaching methods a lot. Even for us as a lecturer, we still have to learn the new skill and learn the new software to deal with the research. Okay, and the next one. Okay, that's when how the AI is changing the role of accountancy, changing the role of us as an academician. Either you are in economics, either you are in finance, in investment, in accounting, or in any field. Then the increased focus will be on advisory skill rather than doing some repetitive work. Okay, this one. And one thing for sure, that still humans still be the one who interpret the information that we have, okay? And the challenges of the AI bringing to us, what is it? Because for the financial data, if we have used the software, for example, we have the data, nowadays, when we collect data for research, we could either do it on secondary data, we could do it on either we do primary data, right? But if, say, for example, for the quantitative data, we can use the database. We have the database. What kind of database? You will have data streamed, maybe. You could have the Bloomberg, for example, and those are the massive, again, the large set of data. Then we don't have to collect the information ourselves, but we use that information. The skill need to be this one for technology, searching and analyzing need to be learned. Okay, AI technology will also introduce a lot of the financial data, and the issue is about the financial data security. Because now we do everything online. Then once we are using the mobile phone, of course we have to put the password. We have to put the date of birth. Then the AI know how old we are or how young we are. And yeah, but this kind of information is sometimes it falls into the criminology. The scam. Or nowadays in Thailand, I said about in Thailand, we receive the fake call every single day. The fake called us, or sometimes text us messages, or send us email. You might have experienced that already, I believe. But they know our information. How come? How come they know our information? Like, I just bought, for example, a new computer, and then they said, your new computer, How come they know? And our informal, personal information, they also know. Like we send the message to someone, or we send the email to someone. I don't understand how they know, but they are so smart, you know. Then this one is the challenges that technology also bring to us. Then we have to be smart and protect ourselves, you know, very well. And the suggestions to us all here, because time is limited, you know, we like to also, I like to have the whole day to have the discussion. But what should we do with these challenges? Okay, we cannot deny. You may deny, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use the mobile phone, the smart mobile phone. I have someone who I know that they still use not the new technology mobile phone, you know. But still, we cannot deny, actually, per se, to say this one. Still, either we like or not, we like or dislike, this one will come to us. You know, we have to think that either we embrace it, how to embrace it smartly. Okay, and the suggestions is for the students, for the lecturers, and for anyone, we have to up our skill. The skill need to be improved. It's a lifelong learning. We have to learn to the rest of our life. You know, improve the professional skill, professional accounting, or the quality of accounting, the programs. You know, not just the students change, the lecturers, the program's director also need to change. The person who oversees the education programs, the graduate school, also need to change. You know, the way that we do the things now. Okay, both the institution or enterprises also need to also pay attention to the internal financial management and the introduction and training of the new skills to the staff. Okay, the suggestions, we shall also pay attention to the information security management. What is the firewall? How to protect the scam from overseas? You know, then they have some emails to us. You won the lottery. Are you gonna fall into that trap? Okay, okay, and to take away, to sum up for this, okay, I think it is necessary for us, you know, to combine the new technology. I use the term advanced technology and AI interchangeably, you know. We shall embrace it smartly. How? We need to learn. We need to up our skill. And not just the students, I emphasize again, every single one of us. You know, I think that we can pursue our life, our career better, you know, if we embrace this new technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Katie, for a very engaging presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I will take the questions later after the presentation of all speakers. So please take note, what is your questions now? Please read it later at the end of the presentations of all speakers. I'll take questions from the audience in the room and also from the audience in the Zoom chat box. Okay, next, I would like to introduce our second speaker, Dr. Prihat Asi, SAMSI, aka CSRS, is the Vice
Thank you, Ms. Adini. First for all, good morning and best wishes for everyone. Okay, let me to present my topic on green accounting and the implementation in Indonesia. As we know that the industrial world continues to develop and it cannot be denied its influence on environmental problem. Organization, government, association, or all of us are realizing that need to protect the environmental and create awareness among society about the importance of environment. Accounting must play a role to contribute to environmental problem rather than just preventing. Accounting is aimed to producing information related to environmental through environmental accounting or green accounting. Okay. Nah, as we know, green accounting is accounting process start from collect, analyze, and assess, and prepare report both environmental and financial data, not just financial data, with a view toward reducing environmental effect and cost. Okay, so environmental accounting has become a key aspect of green accounting and responsible economic development. Okay, yeah. Green accounting, providing information through quantitative measurement, supporting communication in order to achieve sustainability business development, and maintaining mutually beneficial relationship with community, as well as achieving the effectiveness and efficiency of environmental conservation activity. Okay. Oh, how about regulation in green accounting in Indonesia? Regulation of green accounting in Indonesia, the first is government regulation number 47. The law states that every company has social and environmental responsibility that carry out its business in fields related to natural resources. Number 2, law number 23 concerning environmental management. The law regulated the obligation for every person who undertake his activity to safeguard, manage, and provide correct and accurate information regarding the environmental. Okay. Law number 25 concerning capital investment. The regulation regulate the obligation of every investor in the form of business entity or individual to carry out corporate social responsibilities. Later, degree of capital market and financial institution supervision agency chairman. This regulated obligation for an annual report containing corporate governance to describe the activity and costs incurred in relation of company social responsibility toward society and environment. Later, regulation of Bank of Indonesia determine asset quality rating for commercial bank. This regulation, environmental aspects are one of the conditions for granting credit. Every company that want to get bank credit must able to show it concern to environmental management. Okay. Also in financial accounting standard statement, regulation represent in fact company represent additional report on the environment. Okay, this is the regulation for green accounting in Indonesia. So we know the objective of developing environment accounting as follow. Okay. Environmental accounting is environmental management tool. Environmental accounting is used to assess effectiveness and environmental conservation activities. The second is environmental accounting as a means of communication with society. As a public communication tool, environmental accounting is used to convey negative environmental impact, environmental conservation activities, and the result to the public. Okay. Now, we know about not, we familiar with corporate social responsibility or sustainability reporting. This is the form of green environmental responsibility accounting. CSR accounting process selecting company to select variable, measure, and measurement procedure which systematically develop information that useful for evaluating corporate social performance and communication and communicate this information to interested social group both inside and outside of the company. And sustainability reporting is developing in relation to sustainability development. So sustainability development is development that meet the world current need without ignoring the ability of future generation to meet their needs. This is related to the need to protect the environment. Okay, environment accounting is not limited to financial accounting, but it's also applied to management accounting. Environmental management accounting is used to monitor and evaluate the efficiency of resources used. Another part of social accounting is social auditing. The aim to social audit is to assess company performance in relation to community expectation and need. Okay. However, moving from financial accounting traditionally to what green accounting system will not be easy transition. There are 3 obstacles to sustainability reporting. 1, low political will from top level management. Maybe because they not fully realize how the advantage to inform activity company related to environment. And the second, there is absence to reporting standard. But now we can use GRI standard 2021 is the newest standard and already implemented in January 1st, 2023. Okay, and there is no measurement of sustainability performance. Okay. Nah, several research on topic green accounting present evidence that inclusion the environmental and social value in company policy and as an indicator of the key performance can enhance reputation and create prosperity for investor and company itself. So if they realize that the reporting is valuable to investor and company, I think management will be prepare the reporting. Okay. No, many research and they took different emphasis, but basically they saw their concern on social and environmental aspect as dimension that need intention company. Okay, reporting put social performance and environmental performance not found in conventional financial statement, which are in conventional financial statement only found only economic performance report. Okay. Nah, there is many funding, many research from many research. But this is interesting that sometimes the environmental accounting reporting is a bias because the company are frequent not reporting bad news because they realize that if we announce the bad news, maybe will affect to their value of shares or price of share. Okay. Nah, there is a study, a sustainability report in public companies in Indonesia. The study in Indonesia have more than 600 public companies. So, nah, the report of sustainability from public company Indonesia, first, just around 10% all public company listed on Indonesia stock exchange have published sustainability reports. Just 10%. Yeah. So sustainability, but the sustainability report have met more than 80% criteria of OJK. OJK is authority financial service in Indonesia. From 67 sustainability report of public company in 2019, 55% or 37 sustainability report have fulfilled more than 80 criteria for preparing sustainability report. The third is that sustainability report revealed that information about contribution of the SDGs as many as 82 or 7 or yeah. But contribution on the sustainability development goals. Okay. Next finding that sustainability report have been verified by independent parties. Only 31% has been verified by independent parties. And next finding that only 25% sustainability report have disclosed this information, a company's sustainability policy, that is formally published. Okay. Publish and use a reference to the company in carrying out activity and making decision. And only 9% sustainability report has disclosed the existence of company human rights policy. Okay. But the sustainability report prepared by according with Global Sustainability Report use the preparation standard GRE standard. Okay, 95% sustainability report are prepared in accordance with Global Sustainability Report preparation standard GRE standard. Okay, how we know that so little companies prepare sustainability reporting. Otherwise, we realize that how companies to responsible manage environment is very, very important. So, how we to contribute to accelerate the implementation of green accounting. The first is availability of standard. That is a necessary condition. And to motivate management to prepare sustainability reporting, maybe giving appreciation to company that help sustainability reporting, maybe like tax reduction, or in Indonesia there is IAI give an appreciate to rank the company according to reporting of sustainability. Yeah. Okay. Nah, the third is rule of social environmental audit. So environmental reporting must be accompanied by social environmental audit. So the audit is to increase the credibility of sustainability reporting. And the fourth, social environmental obligation to ensure the implementation of social and environmental responsibility. So good corporate governance mechanism is needed, because the good corporate governance mechanism will be protect investor, especially in the capital market, and can be expanded to protect all stakeholders. Example for government, customers, and society. Okay. And the final, company must also publish social and environmental accounting report for our two stakeholders through mass media as a form of corporate accountability to all stakeholders. Okay. Okay. This is my presentation. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Dr. Priyat Asif, for a very insightful presentation on green accounting. Next, I would like to introduce our third speaker, Dr. Farhana Begum, is a postdoctoral research scholar at the University of Rajshahi, ISDB, and an assistant professor in accounting at the Ministry of Education.
Director of Postgraduate Program, Professor Anwar Sensory, Professor Agus, University of Merdeka Malang, distinguished speaker and participants, ladies and gentlemen. I want to express my sincere gratitude for the chance to talk with you today. This title, Post-COVID-19 Impacts on Bangladesh Economy, Sectoral Effects and Financial Systems Stability Challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic, which emerged as a global crisis in early 2020, posed unprecedented challenges to nations worldwide, and Bangladesh was no exception. The economic ramifications were profound, touching nearly every facet of our society. Global economy. The global economy growth in 2022-23 remains highly uncertain due to the impact of COVID-19. Ongoing Russia war in Ukraine. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has expected the global economy to slow down from 3.4% in 2022 and 2.8% 2023, rebound 3% 2024. The slowdown of economic activity is observed due to a spike in commodity prices and supply chain disruption driven by the effects of war. Growth in advanced economics is expected to slow from 2.7% in 2022, 1.3% 2023, and rebound 1.4% 2024. Global inflation. In 2021, global inflation reached its highest level in the last few decades. Inflation rate in United States and several emerging and developing economies continued to rise, largely due to imbalance in supply and demand and heightened commodity prices during the pandemic. The Russia-Ukraine war has fueled global inflation. Central bank initiative on increasing interest rate has contributed to lower inflation. Global inflation is estimated at 8.8% in 2022, which will decrease 6.6% 2023 and 4.5% 2024. However, this rate is higher than the pre-pandemic inflation rate. Macroeconomic situation in our country. Bangladesh economy has recovered from the economic damage caused by COVID-19 and the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis. Although the recent slowdown in the global economy has adversely affected the country's economic growth, Bangladesh economic growth in the pre-pandemic financial year 18-19 was 7.88%. During COVID-19, this growth rate declined 3.4%, and 19-20, which increased 6.94%, and 21-22 only 7.10%. This table shows that the key indicators of Bangladesh economy. As the economy of Bangladesh heavily relies on global supply chains, particularly ready-made garments, short name RMG, and foreign remittance, the country has faced a severe impact of the global economy meltdown. The scenery of the Cox's Bazar, the longest beach in our country and in the world. But the COVID-19 the pandemic affected several sectors like Cox's Bazar, service sector, GDP, and real sector, but the agriculture sector is insulted. Impact on GDP. In recent years, the economy of Bangladesh has been significant expansion. Prior of the pandemic, GDP growth rate was 8.15%, financial year 18-19, which was a record growth for the economy of Bangladesh. But due to pandemic, the growth rate declined 2.91 and reached to 5.24% in 2021. GDP growth rate settled at 6.03. These statistics reflect Bangladesh's commendable efforts to navigate the challenges posed by the pandemic and regional economic stability in the post-COVID-19 era. Impact on industry. Industry is very important in our country. Among all the three sectors of real economy, the industry sector is highly affected due to the pandemic. Manufacturing is the largest subsector of the GDP. 24.18 financial year 2020, the textile and RMG have hard hit the economy of Bangladesh because this sector brings more than 82% of the export earning. In financial year 21-22, Bangladesh earned $42.61 million US from the ready-made garments sector. Bangladesh has more green garment manufacture than any other country in the world. The textile industry holds 14.07% share of the total production of major industry groups. RMG industry produced 34.8% in total industrial output, but it is declined by 6.19% from financial year 19 and reached 6.48% financial year 20. COVID-19, RMG workers in Bangladesh, the scenery during COVID-19. Impact of service sector. The service sector is the highest contributor to Bangladesh GDP, as its share was almost 51.3%. Pandemic hit major area of this sector severely at a faster speed. Growth rate of this sector declined by 1.4% and 5.3% financial year 20. General holiday, because of general holiday, quarantine, social distancing, restriction on social gathering, and ban of international flights, and all of these measures had consequence for service sector performance. Growth rate of major subsectors of this. The scenario shows that the growth rate of major sectors. I have some problem in my eye, so sometimes I cannot see. Sorry for this. Impact on revenue collection. The COVID-19 pandemic significantly impacted revenue collection due to the containment measures depressing both local and international trade, as well as household corporate income, leading to a loss of growth momentum in revenue collection. Revenue was 2019 11.81%, but declined sharply 4.4%. The scenario shows that the trends in total revenue collection, the revenue collection was 2020 BDT 2630 billion. But if the normal economic situation, the revenue collection will be 2906. Impact on remittance inflow. Remittance sent by the Bangladesh diaspora, around 13 million workers, is another important pillar of the economy. This sector has already been hit by the COVID-19 and recovered smoothly. Foreign reserve recorded a new high of USD 42.97 billion at the end of December 2020. Remittance inflow declined from USD 1.69 billion in 2019. 2019 May 1.09, which increased straight after and picked up to USD 2.60 billion in July 2020. The increase is mainly due to three reasons: the transfer of higher savings by the wage earners because of the threat of their job losses and the likelihood to return home, more use of formal channels instead of informal channels to remit money, and government incentive on inward remittance. This scenario discusses the trend of remittance inflow. Impact on banking sector. The banking sector was reasonably affected in the earlier stage of the COVID-19. However, this sector quickly recovered this shock due to pre-pandemic measures taken by the Bangladesh government. All the performance indicators such as capital adequacy, profitability, asset quality, and other solvency indicators remain healthy, and some of extent move positively. The financial institution sector also have shown a sign of recovery of the third quarter 2020. Bangladesh Bank is the central bank in our country, reduced CRR, repo rate, bank rate, enhanced the advance to deposit ratio, relaxed the loan classification policy, introduced credit refinancing scheme, lowered interest rate, and enhanced the size of export development fund to support manufacture export of this country. Our country had COVID-19 momentous impact of the imports of Bangladesh during the first two quarters 2020, notable reduction in farms and household incomes and disruption in the global supply chain, among others, have resulted in rapid decline in important payments from USD 4.71 billion in January 20, USD 2.53 billion May 20, as shown the chart 5. It has been regaining the momentum since then, but at a slower pace to reach at the pre-COVID-19. Export of Bangladesh. It is evident from chart 6 that export of the country have been affected during COVID-19 since early 2020. The amount of export dropped sharply from USD 3.62 billion in January 20. However, it got a quick V-shaped recovery and reached to USD 3.91. This chart show. Yes, it got a quick V-shaped recovery and reached to USD 3.91 billion. Next slide. Yes, graph. Yes, yes. The graph shaped the V-shape recovery and reached to USD 3.91. Bangladesh COVID-19 response is taking digital finance to new levels. Digitalization is reshaping Bangladesh economy post-COVID-19, mobile financial services, e-commerce, digital government service, online tax filing, and digital land records introduced by 2021 improved accessibility and reduced corruption in public services. Digitalization in Bangladesh contributed to a reduction in income inequality by enabling marginalized communities to access financial service. We believe Bangladesh is poised for resilient and inclusive economic growth as digital transformation countries. Bangladesh stands at the threshold of a new era of prosperity and advancement. The government offered financial strength and support to business and industrial most impacted by the pandemic. This included providing loan subsidies, facilities access to credit, offering tax relief. The government announced several stimulus packages, BDT 1.3 billion, which is 4.3% of GDP. Monetary policy measures, social safety nets, tax relief, export promotion, digital transformation, healthcare infrastructure, support for agriculture, support for SME. These policies aim to prevent business closure, support job retention.
Farhana, so sorry to interrupt because you need to
promote.
Yes, another 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
2 minutes only. And economic recovery conclusion. Bangladesh is not fully immune from the spillover effects of economic losses caused during COVID-19. Pandemic greatly affected various broad sectors of the Bangladesh economy, such as real sector, fiscal sector, external sector, and monetary and financial sector. However, due to the government unwavering support through the policy they have taken, the intensity of the economic damage due to shock waves of the pandemic does not seem to the traumatizing as many other countries. The economy and financial systems of Bangladesh appear to the resilient and recovery in really promising. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Professor Farhana Begum, for the insightful presentation. Next, I would like to invite our last speaker, last but not least here. I would like to introduce Professor Ruksana Begum. She is a highly experienced professional with over 25 years of service in the Department of Accounting and Information System at the University of Rajshahi. Her academic background includes BCom and MCom degrees, as well as a postgraduate diploma in financial management obtained through a Netherlands government fellowship. Professor Begum has received scholarships for her outstanding academic performance and has contributed significantly to the field with numerous articles in esteemed journals. Additionally, she actively participates in alumni associations and committees, demonstrating her dedication to academia and her community. The title of her presentation is Green Banking and Sustainable Development in Bangladesh. Professor Ruksana Begum, the time is yours.
The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, the President of International Conference, the participants, and the speakers, and the Honorable faculties of Malang University, Assalamu alaikum, and very good morning to you all. First, I would like to express my gratitude to the Indonesia's people, the country, and also the University of Malang. Because I am here, we so much see so much so nice people here, and your hospitality is really, really nice, and I am so much impressed. Thank you very much, everybody. Now, I start my topic. It's a green banking and sustainable development in Bangladesh. In this world, now everybody very much conscious about our greenhouse problem. And every country's government and also the plan makers and also the people, they are so much concerned about greenhouse problem, also the environment of their country and also the world. So, also the financial sector also very much concerned about green banking and sustainable development. About green banking, the term green banking generally refers to banking practices that foster environmentally responsible financing practices and environmentally sustainable internal process minimizing greenhouse gas emissions. Green banking thus involves a two-pronged approach. First, green banking focuses on the green transformation of internal operations of all banks. It means all the banks should adopt appropriate ways of utilize renewable energy, automation, and other measures to minimize carbon footprint from banking activities. Secondly, all banks should adopt environmentally responsible financing, weighing up environmental risks of projects before making financing decisions, and in particular supporting and fostering growth of upcoming green initiatives and projects. Now, green banking in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is committed to pursuing low-carbon green development without compromising the imperative of foster economic growth and social development. Development strategies of the government of Bangladesh laid down in the Perspective Plan 2010 to 2021 declare clear commitment of pursuing sustainable growth, the country's vulnerability of floods, cyclones, and to the threat of inundation of large coastal areas from global warming driven sea level rise makes sustainability a prime development concern. So, financing practices can crucially influence the speed of adoption of environmentally sustainable output practice in the real economy. Aware of its responsibility of putting in place socially and environmentally responsible practices in the financial sector, Bangladesh Bank, the Central Bank of Bangladesh, has spreaded adoption and promotion of green banking practices throughout the financial sector towards safeguarding environmental sustainability. Methodology. The research, design, and sources of data here used. The data were collected from the Bangladesh Bank websites and annual reports for the years 2014 to 2022, various published sources such as newspapers, magazines, and journal articles, and a variety of working papers and reports. The results and discussion, policy initiatives. The Bangladesh Bank developed a special policy framework outlining 3 phases of green banking. The first phase is its deadline was 31 December 2011. They plan 9 points. Those are policy formulation, governance, then CRM, initiating in house environment, management introducing greenhouse finance, creation of climate risk fund, introducing green marketing, online banking, supporting employee training, disclosure and reporting of green banking activities. Then the phase of 2, their deadline is 2012. Also, this phase, they planning and setting up the first phases points also. And finally, the phase 3, its deadline was 2013. And these are, number 1, designing and introducing innovative products. Reporting in a standard format with external verification. You know, in the case of green banking, you want to introduce innovative products which help to reduce the greenhouse impacts. Then green financing. Green financing is a broad term that encompasses investment in activities that encourage sustainable economic development. It includes investment in green projects such as effluent treatment plants, solar panel farms, organic fertilizer, biogas plant, manufacturing recyclable products, green security and safety within a products industry. Also, in our country, the Bangladesh Bank decided to order all the banks of in our country that before sanctioning a loan, banks must consider whether or not a proposed project is eco-friendly and if it will have a negative impact on the future people and planet. The amount of investment for underwriting green finance by different types of banks in Bangladesh is presented in the next table. Is the table? Now you see the various types of banks in our country. First one is state-owned commercial banks, there are 3, and public sector commercial banks, number 40, FCBs, that means foreign commercial banks and non-banking financial institutions. Here you see the green line, the most achievement of PCB. They did very well in the investment in green finance in Bangladesh. The major share they done. Then you see the chart, the green finance in our country from the year 2018 to 2022. You see the graph here. Its peak 2020, but for the cause of pandemic, COVID-19, it's fall down in 21 and then also 22, and I expect again it will be up, increase in coming years. Now the category of green finance, there are also shows various type of project, the finance, green financing in our country, the various banking sector also, renewable energy, energy efficiency, alternative energy, liquid waste management, solid waste management, recycling and manufacturing of recyclable goods, environment-friendly brick production, green environment-friendly establishments, green agriculture, green CEM, cottage, micro, small, medium enterprises, green SRF, and total. Now you also see the PCB is the highest share of this in this whole category. Also, I show by pie chart the various percentage of the green finances. The highest 47% the green finance in 2002, green environment friendly establishments, they finance 47%, but solid waste management only 1% and alternative energy just 0%. So this is our present picture of our green finance in Bangladesh. Now there are refinance plans for green products and green industries. Now, since inception to December 31st, 2022, the total amount of BDT 8,488.99 million has been disbursed at refinance facility. Also, I already expressed the name of these products like solar energy, biogas plant, and effluent treatment plant, etc. Now, different forms of green banking that support sustainable development in our country. As an eco-friendly banking system, green banking aspires to promote sustainability. Sustainable development meets the requirements of the present without compromising the capability of future generations. As per Bangladesh Bank guidelines, commercial banks have undertaken an initiative for greening the environment by offering low-interest loans to customers who want to set up solar equipment, ETPs, and biogas plants. Banks are also offering electronic banking in the form of online banking, ATMs, and mobile banking. These e-banking activities help reduce the use of paper, illustrating one aspect of reducing CO2 emissions, carbon dioxide emissions. Also, table 4 shows the picture, status of online branches. In whole Bangladesh, there are various types of banks working, but in the case of private sector commercial banks, they did very well, and now the 99.73% there are branches there. And automated teller machines, also we see here that PCB is the highest ATM setup by different banks among. And the path to sustainable development, one such service is Green Deposit, a rating system for deposits that enable the bank to offer higher interest rates on money market accounts, checking accounts, and saving accounts to customers who bank online. While this service helps make banking activities more convenient and environmentally friendly. The primary function of a bank is to lend money, and green bank lending is especially targeted toward developing renewable energy projects, climate resilient infrastructure projects, and installation of more energy efficient and climate smart equipment, application, houses, and vehicles. This is the path from the traditional banking, how we reach the green banking and also the sustainable development. The traditional banking, when adopted of green banking policy, then they are also in the green banking, and now green banking can sustainable if their product is environmentally friendly, financing also environment friendly, and lastly, we can see the green world and the sustainable development also.
Okay, Professor Ruksana, sorry to interrupt.
Just 1 minute,
okay.
I conclude it.
All right, thank you so much.
Now we see the green banking performance. In 2011, we just started the policy, and now in 2022, for adopting the green banking, our non-performing loan percentage only 0.2%, and now if we are energizing a green land, so sustainable world is not far from us. So thank you for very much thanks for patience hearing of me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ruksana Begum, for a very insightful presentation about green banking. Last but not least, Dr. Kazi Zohak, joining from Russia. Dr. Kazizoha, can you hear me? Okay, I am pleased to introduce Associate Professor Dr. Kazizoha. He has PhD in Environmental Economics. He is based in the Graduate School of Economics and Management at Ural. Is everything okay? You can share your screen. Oh, he is the co-host now.
Yep. I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute. Now I think you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Good, perfect. I'm sorry, it's very early morning. I just woke up.
Yes, thank you for joining us early morning there in Russia.
Very much into the subject of sustainability, but of course it's related with sustainability since I'm trying to bring energy market, financial stress during geopolitical risk. I will focus on Russian economy since I have a number of projects, and these projects exclusively we are focusing on Russian economy, and of course it has global implications. For example, a few months ago, I was invited by the Central Bank of Indonesia in Bali. I also was talking about the ongoing geopolitical tensions and what is the trade reorientations happening and what is the stand of Indonesia, something like that. Anyway, so today this topic I will focus on oil market shocks and financial stress amid geopolitical risk in the focus of Russian economy. So let me go to the very brief background of the study that how oil market and financial market are interlinked. Probably all of you can remember that after the First World War, the Second World War happened, and during the Second World War, end of the Second World War, 1945, so there was a Bretton Woods agreement in Bretton Woods in USA. So that monetary system continued to gold standard like Bank of England, but in this time, the policy was that Federal Reserve System, meaning US Federal Reserve System, still can continue gold standard. So meaning 1 ounce of gold should be redeemable with $33 or $34. And so what about the other currency, rest of the currency, let's say Indonesian rupee or rupiah or Malaysian ringgit and all other currency that will be pegged with dollar. So meaning that it will still maintain some sort of monetary integrity, because if US dollar is pegged with gold and rest of the currency is pegged with dollars, so meaning that global currency will be pegged with eventually gold, so that's maintain monetary integrity. right? So, but after a few years, couple of years, probably it was 1965 or 7, when the France government accumulated a lot of dollar and asked Federal Reserve System to give this amount of gold, and they failed to do so. So that's raised up very big questions about the integrity of money. So whether the Federal Reserve System's creating money out of nothing, having no value, no backup. So since the system was crumbling, meaning falling down, many nations raised questions about the integrity of money. That time there was a spectacular moment. That was Arab-Israel War. Precisely, it was 1971. Then, King Faisal, who embargo oil supply to the West, and globally oil price gone up significantly, probably from $4 to $12. So, and most of the global economy experienced a high inflation. Because oil is the most traded product, and it is very much a fundamental product to produce any goods and services in modern economy. So oil price matters a lot, and that is very much connected with financial markets. So 1971, that gives a very unique benefit to US monetary system. Then that was the time when Henry Kissinger visited Saudi Arabia, eventually convinced King Faisal to sell oil in exchange of dollar, not other currencies. So eventually all OPEC countries followed this standard, that they were selling oil in exchange of dollar with no other currency. So that gives enormous benefit to the US dollar in global currency, or dominance of the currency, because oil was the most traded product, so it created a lot of demand for a dollar. So probably right now, the physical amount of dollar, probably more than 30% dollar is outside USA. So if there is no demand for US dollar in global economy, so that's the pose a significant threat for US economy, right? So since financial market enter into extraordinary fluctuations, and we also have seen the global financial crisis in 2007 and 8, and how quickly there was a spillover effect globally, and overnight 1,000 million people lose their job. So at the same time, we saw the oil market instability, meaning oil price hike, 1970 till 1980s, then 2007, 8, then of course the time of Russia-Ukraine conflict, 2020, 23, still the oil price is quite high. I see the statistics is increasing per barrel of oil more than $85. And at the same time, we also see that oil price plunge that gone down significantly, like 1998, then 2015, when USA start for shale booming, and during time of the COVID. So when something happening in oil market, we can see a significant causal effect on financial market. So, but what is the implication of this oil market shocks in the case of Russian economy, which is characterized as a hydrocarbon economy? As you know, Russia is the second highest oil and gas exporter to the world, particularly to Europe. So after this conflict started with Ukraine to 2022, so Russia has been experiencing more than 14,000 sanctions, which is more than Iran, Syria, or North Korea is experiencing. So that gives very important research questions about the financial sustainability, oil market security, and particularly how Russian economy is surviving despite of having a lot of sanctions on the economy. So then we try to see that oil market shocks, some external and internal shocks, and how it is affecting Russian government revenue and expenditure. So it's more about the fiscal sustainability of the country. So we can see that when oil price is high, so this one is the oil price, and the Russian economy basically is they are enjoying the budget surplus, which is shown in this gray bar. And if you can see this orange bar, which is kind of a deficit. So when oil price is going down, so you can see that Russia economy is encountering some kind of a budget deficit. So it's very obvious that, okay, oil price is highly anchored with fiscal sustainability of Russian government. So these are the main product that Russian economy is exporting. So this is very much like a primary product, mining product like minerals, metal, and chemical item, precious metal, stones. So that's contributing a significant part for Russian export or hydrocarbon economy. So in this study, we have some genuine contributions. So in this study, we first time created an index, that index called financial stress. That's a very comprehensive index. So we consider many specific indicator. So these are the indicators. Then we are came up with some kind of an index. That index shows that whether it is financially stable or there is a stress. So these are the component, for example, spread of money market rates and zero coupon short-term federal loan bonds, then stock market volatility, then financial industry stock price index, then dispersion of return on equity of financial institutions, then spread of interloan rate to the loan of central bank terms one day, then of course exchange rate volatility, since Russian currency is very much volatile with geopolitical risk and other things, and inflation. So out of all 8 specific indicators, we generate an index. So you can see when the value of this index is more than 4, so now we can say that there is a financial stress. So precisely from this diagram, we can see twice there was a big financial stress in Russia. First is 2015, and which can be related with the first time Russian economy experience with the sanction relating with the Crimea issues. But of course, that time Russian financial market was not that ready to absorb any kind of external shocks. But what happened in 2022, when the escalation or conflict started between Russia and Ukraine, the financial stress was very high, because this time sanction was enormous. One of the biggest sanction was that the removal of Russian financial system from the SWIFT system. So meaning that Russian banking sector could not transfer any money, then freezing Russian foreign asset in a number of European countries, including Japan. So, but the important thing is that very quickly, within 2 or 3 months, the Russian economy, they absorbed this kind of shocks and financial stress disappeared. So that gives very important research questions that how Russian economy could manage it. So quickly, within 1 or 2 months, they could eliminate all kind of financial stress. So I'll try to explain these things in this research paper. This is the oil price movement over the time. As this is nothing new. We can see that over the time there is a lot of fluctuation or oscillation of international oil price. And this is the time of COVID, when the oil price was significantly low in the history. And now it is quite high, and that can be attributed with OPEC policy and, of course, the sanction on Russia to European market, and also the Saudi Arabia very often cut the oil production. So that's why the price has gone up. So from this oil market shock, since oil exporting country follow a oligopolistic market, meaning one country like Saudi Arabia or Russia, decision matter for other countries. So since they can influence oil price, so oil market shocks, demand shock and supply shocks may not have the same meaning or same implication. So that's why we decompose oil market shock into the three types of shocks. One is that risk shock that is coming from financial market like VIX or volatility of financial markets of oil producing companies. Then from that volatility, we came up with the supply shocks. The supply shocks is coming that, okay, to equation, and eventually we come up with the demand shocks. So demand shocks incorporating supply and demand through the equation process and daily oil price changes. So we decompose oil market shock into three shocks, that is demand shocks, supply shocks, and risk shocks. Then this is the three types of shocks over time, and we can see that there are a lot of fluctuations. And this is the data description. So our dependent variable of financial stress for Russian economy, and independent variable are the three shocks: demand side, demand shocks, supply shocks, and risk shocks. Then this is the conceptual framework that how oil shocks can penetrate or have a spillover effect to financial system. So that has a, for example, if oil price is high, then cost of production also will be high and decrease expected corporate profit. Then there will be inflationary pressure and a stock market movement. But it depends whether the country is an exporting country or importing country. The same of the exchange rate. So if exporting country, meaning they have a hydrocarbon more revenue, so the local currency will be appreciated against foreign currency. So it has also implication with the financial stress and budget deficits that's coming from the government sector, like the fiscal stance. So if there is a negative oil price shocks, so oil exporting country, they will have less money for the government. Then that can eventually create some kind of a shocks in financial market. That's simple descriptive statistics. So in order to see the response of financial stress to any oil market shocks, demand, supply, or risk shocks, we apply cross-parallelogram approach. This is a very sophisticated time series method that can capture different type of market conditions like bearish conditions or bullish condition or normal conditions. And it also can take a significant lag to see, okay, if something happening oil market today, then when financial market will respond. So whether it is very quick or it will take some kind of a, let's say, 1 month or quarterly or yearly shocks, then we also apply time varying VAR model, stochastic volatility, to see every specific movement over time. Since Central Bank of Russia,
Dr. Kasizoha, excuse me, you have 5 more minutes because we have 6 questions already in the chat box later, so we can have a longer discussion. Thank you.
All right. So then we try to see with this heat map diagram. So heat map diagram, it shows that from the demand side shocks in general, Russian financial market responding negatively, meaning stress going down. So financial market become more stable with the demand shock of oil price. From the supply shocks is also, we'll see that when from the oil price is going up from the cutting of oil supply or OPEC decisions, then the financial stress is it disappear normally. But in contrary, the risk shocks, from the risk shocks, actually it has a positive and significant spillover effect. It shows that Russian financial stress respond positively, meaning stress go up. Then from the time frequency, we try to see that 2 different effects. First is 2014, when basically Russian financial market was not ready to absorb the exogenous shocks coming from geopolitical risk. But 2022, the Russian financial market was much stable, or there was some kind of readiness to absorb any kind of external shocks. And of course, in order to do it, Russian central bank took various important measures to eliminate external shocks. First is that during this time, the BRICS trade integration intensified significantly. For example, China and India become the main importer of Russian energy, though there was a discounted price. So that was one of the big policy that Russian economy did not suffer much or significantly. Then, of course, Russia introduced a bilateral trade with the local currency, meaning ruble yuan or the ruble Indian rupiah currency exchange, bilateral trade. And probably also, so far I know, Indonesia also is interested for bilateral trade with the local currency. So they want to go away from dollar. Then central bank took other policies like increasing interest rate, then dispersion of buying and selling foreign currency. So eventually this kind of policies was apparently very successful for Russian economy to, Russian's financial system to be more stable and to eliminate any kind of a negative external shocks coming from the geopolitical risks, especially from sanction and so many things. So anyway, so if you have more specific questions about Russian policy during ongoing this crisis or geopolitical risk or conflict with the Ukraine, I will be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kazi Zohag, for a very insightful presentation on the effect of geopolitics on Russia economics. Now I will open the Q&A session. I have few questions in the Zoom chat box. I'll take the questions from the audience here after the Zoom chat box. The first question is from Abdul Malik Kumar. Questions for the first panelist. How can accountants overcome threats such as job replacement by AI in traditional tasks and focus more on strategic roles that require human wisdom? Kathy, please.
Thank you very much for the first question on the AI advancement or technology advancement. Well, of course, for the labor replacement by AI will happen, especially for the repetitive works, repetitive jobs, you know, like in the factories, for example. Yeah, previously we have got thousands of laborers, right, to work in the factory. But now the situation changed to like they take the AI or the machine to replace lots of staff. Okay, then there's a job lost for many people. Then how could we, the question is how could we do it, right? How could we deal with it? I think we have to, depends on who you are, but if you are the persons who work in the career already, I think you have to, this is also applied to many people, including myself, that we have to develop ourselves. You know, we cannot stop it, not to use the machine, right, in the real world. But we need to develop our skill sets, the skills that we need to develop more. Like previously, we have not known how to use the software, accounting software, or any type of software, office softwares. Then we learn. You know, if there's a skill set that is needed for that career, then we shall learn those skill sets, and we have to be open-minded. Open-minded, because technology will help us to support us, to facilitate our life. You know, either we like or dislike, it will come. You know, and then we should embrace it. Yeah, in this way.
All right. Yes, I agree with Dr. Katie that for the technology, we need to embrace it instead of just, oh, I don't want to use that technology, because it will invade all areas of our life. So we need to embrace it. Okay, next question is from Kafriana Christine Baker from University of Merdeka Malang. Another question about accounting. How accountants can focus on the more strategic and value-adding aspect of their roles, such as financial analysis and business consulting services. Meanwhile, one of the most significant ways of AI is transforming accounting is through the automation of repetitive tasks. How we focus on more strategic and value-adding aspect?
I think we are, actually this question is also linked to the previous one, in my opinion. I think for the accounting task or the accountants, as the repetitive task has been performed or will be performed by the software, then we need to change ourselves. Like we have to change the role from doing that, because that one it was the task that we used to do before. We changed ourselves to be the advisory dimension or the perspective. We need to give advice to the organization rather than like performing the task, right, ourselves, but we should advise be the partner of the organization. It's like to advise them from the data perspective. Then this is like the consultations that we can provide to the companies. You know, this thing we changed the role. The role is changing from being the person who perform the basic task to be the persons who interpret the data, who interpret and advise the strategy to the companies. This is for the side of the person who perform the task. But from the top down, let's say this one, from the leadership, the management of the organizations, they need also to change the mindset. Because many organizations still management still think that the accountants are the person who perform the financial statements or to prepare the data. But for the management point of view, also have to change the way to think about the accountants or the accounting task. That's how I would respond to this question.
All right, thank you so much. We have one more question actually about AI, the continuation. Yeah, the impact of AI is to replace human labor. However, in developing countries, human labor is very important because we want to make sure that everyone has a job. But we also realize that the quality of our human resources need to develop, especially in understanding the use of the technology. So what kind of impact of AI for the developing countries, especially in the economic instability?
I think we cannot guarantee that everyone will have a job at first, because that depends on individual person. If that person will not learn the new skill, will not embrace the new skills or the technology, we cannot guarantee, even the government cannot guarantee the job to everyone. That's I say this one from my personal opinion. Maybe the Indonesian government will say, I will provide the job for everyone, you know, I can guarantee. But I for myself, I don't think so. If that person will not help themselves, we have to help ourselves. How could we do it? We learn. Okay, we relearn. For the graduates who already finished the schools, finished the university, they have to come back to learn, you know, for the new skill sets. And this one, if everyone has a job to do, the job might be changed, or might be the role have to be shifted a little bit, or maybe a lot. But if we do that, the economy in the large scale will be sustainable. You know, everyone will have the income into the family. I think that in the large scale, to help the country, to help the family, and also to the small unit, to help every single one. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for your answer, Dr. Katie. Last questions. Oh, actually, I have one more questions. From Alit Mertayasa for Professor Ruksana Begum. Can you answer the questions? What is the key success factor for Bangladesh government in the implementation of green banking? How is the relation to the Sharia banking system? Okay, what is the key success factor of Bangladesh government in the implementation of green banking? And how is it related to the Sharia banking system?
Okay. First, our government is very much serious about the greenhouse impact on our economy, and they issue various guidelines and how the banking sector is introduced the green banks. You know, the green banking is the system of banking. There is less use of papers, and you also know we are used to use the ATM, and also we use green branches of various banks in the whole Bangladesh. And if you want to send money, in just a moment you can send it. Only the introduce of green banking, and also our government directed the Central Bank of Bangladesh, the Bangladesh Bank. It guided all banks how they finance the green projects, like the brick field. It is a very bad impact on our environment, and now the brick field are now latest model technology they used to correct the environmentally bad impacts. And also there are so many innovative products in green banking. They finance those entrepreneurs who established eco-friendly industries, and their rate of interest is very less. So, and there are many more plans for our governments to fully implement the green banking, and which make the world is green. So, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rikshana. Oh, yes, please. Go ahead.
I also like to agree, to your response to this question. Allow me to share the key success factor, in my opinion. Okay, this one from my perspective, I think the government has played the big role in this. The key elements is the government has to lead the country with this one. I hope that the government hears what we are talking.
Oh, yes.
I hope. I wish that they hear, because if the government force the policy, not just for the green banking, for the green economy, to any society, to any community, to any organizations, then the whole country will equip to that. We have to follow, right, from the government's policies or the country's strategies. And we now on the fourth industrial evolution. This one fits well. The key factor is the government that has to push this one. The second key element for this is the education. I believe so. This is like the theme of our conference about the sustainability. I think we come to the very right track to arranging or having this conference, because we try to encourage the sustainability society to our world. University will also have to engage in this. We learn how to use the technology at the school. Then I think this one, once the graduates finish the schools, they go into the workforce. Then they know how to do with this. Education is very key important. And the third key element is about organizations, because organization or the entrepreneurs, they also have to follow whatever the world, the trends of the world or the trend of the country, and I think then it comes into the individuals later on.
So government, education, and also.
I add one
please,
point,
go ahead.
please. Raise the consciousness of our people of the whole country. If they conscious about the green, not only green banking, in green environment, if we conscious, so we leave the smoking and blah blah, and so consciousness is very much important, and also the correlation between the planners, the government, and also the higher authority body, and also the general people. Then it will be sustainable green world and sustainable development also. I think so. Thank you very
so
much,
Professor Roxana, for adding the answer. Actually, the next question is about that, about how can banks collaborate with the governments and non-government organizations. I believe you already answered it. Yep. Thank you. And I will take 2 questions from the audience. If you have any questions, yes, please raise your hand. Yeah. Someone give the mic. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Dia from University of Merdeka. I'm a student. For the first question, AI technology make everything do it faster and easier. How your country, especially your government policy to maintain the data from a medical record from every patient in hospital, because medical record, every person is very private and very secret. How your policy, I mean your government policy to maintain the data of every patient in hospital. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. Dr. Kathy, like to answer?
Let me repeat your question again, then I can respond it correctly. You are asking about the medical record at the hospitals, right?
Yes.
How could we, with the development of the AI or advanced technology, how could we keep the confidentially, right, of the patients? Is that right?
Yes. That's right.
I thank you very much for the question. I think this has been actually covered by my presentation. This is the key, because this one, the breach of the information, personal information security, the data security is very important. Then not just only for the patients at the hospital, it could be any other organizations, right? Any industry or any sector. The internal or personal information can be leak out to outside. I think the organization themselves have to have the protection, the security protection, that's kind of the firewall and the network security. This one, the side of the organizations, they have to have. They have also the law in my country, the PDPA, that everyone has to obey for this law, that we will not, we in this case, either persons, organization, will not reveal or disclose the personal or personal information of anyone else, because otherwise we break the law. This is by the law. Organizations themselves have to obey this one. And the government has also to enact and also to force the regulations, the law on this one. And this one will help two sides, the sides of the government, the sides of the organization, and we ourselves have to protect ourselves as well. Then I think if we are doing this all together, then will help to solve this type of problems.
Thank you, Dr. Kathy. I hope that answers your questions. I'll take one last question. Yes? Dr. Diana here first. Okay, one last question. So sorry, because the time is limited. We have a Friday prayer after this. That's why the time is quite short. Please.
Yes, only one question.
Okay.
Don't worry. With the advancement of this question addressed to Sohak, to Professor Sohak, sorry. With the advancement of developing e-car, is this will impact to the price of oil? Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Dr.
Thank you very
Sohak,
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think its impact will be very less significant. The main problem of electric vehicle. So, for example, electric vehicle consumes a lot of important mineral. That mineral, for example, copper, nickel, lithium battery. So, and you need all this drilling from the mining, need fossil fuel. So there's two things here. The critical thing is that these important minerals are concentrated in the few countries like Chile, China, Russia, Indonesia, Australia. So, and you need a lot of mining, drilling activities. So for this fracking boom or drilling, you need fossil fuel. And since it is very concentrated, the mineral price will be very high. And since the drilling process also need fossil fuel, so I don't think that it may have a significant effect on oil. And second thing is that the electricity produced to charge electric vehicle is coming from mainly fossil fuel. It's not yet, it is coming from solar panel or wind turbine. Especially for solar panel, wind turbines, it's not very successful in Europe. First of all, there is no good solar light. Once again, in Middle East, like Saudi Arabia or Libya, they have absolute advantage or comparative advantage in producing renewable energy from solar panels. So despite of these things, I mean, this is the main key issues, and I think that it may not have a significant effect on oil price to reduce from the demand side. So I don't think so, at least in near future. Maybe in long-term future, after 10 or 15 years, if there is a very breakthrough in technology in producing electricity from alternative sources, probably that. But to me, that solar or wind turbine is still a long way to go. Many green projects, they completely failure, become bankrupt in Spain or many countries. So this is my view.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your enthusiasm asking some more questions, but I'm afraid we have not enough time for that because of the time concern. If I may sum up from this conference, His Excellency Minister of Home Affairs mentioned about the green economy and smart city. The government of Indonesia is committed to the greener future. Dr. Kathy was speaking about the power of AI, changing the role of technology in our life. It is necessary to combine AI technology with accounting to improve the quality and efficiency of accounting. Dr. Prihat Asih was discussing on the importance of sustainability report, yet only 10% of the listed company in IDX has disclosed the information. Dr. Farhana was speaking about the effect of COVID-19 pandemic in Bangladesh economy. But based from the support of the government, the economy and financial system of Bangladesh appear to be resilient and recovery is really promising. Professor Ruksana touched on the green banking And Dr. Kazi Zohak touched on geopolitical effect in economy. From the discussion, it can be concluded that sustainability is a continuous effort that needs to be implemented in various sectors in our life, especially in economy, like in finance, accounting, and banking. Once again, thank you so much for our keynote speaker, Minister of Home Affairs, our esteemed speakers, and also the participants. I believe we learned so much from this session. Now back to you, our MC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Dr. Andini, and give applause once more to our speakers today. And then we will give the certificate appreciation to the all speakers. Okay, thank you very much. Please come forward to Professor Grahita to give certificate appreciation to the Dr. Kanitson Tet Paupong. Okay, next to Dr. Farhana Begum, MPhil, PhD. Thank you. Next to Professor Dr. Rusana Begum, PhD. Okay, thank you. And next to photo together. You can open there the map. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, and give applause again to our speakers. Okay, want to do photo session with the others. The official, the committee, please take photo together with the speakers. The all participants, Bu Dia, Pak Pindo, silakan. Sebelah sana Bu Dia. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we all the participant, Pak Boge, Pak Pindo, Pak Hari, Pak Heri, Pak Pindo. And then all the participants in Zoom meeting platform, please you can camera on. Okay. Wait a minute. And the Zoom meeting platform can photo together. Okay, thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will give a special thanks to all the co-hosts for International Conference on Sustainability 2023. Our thanks and special certificate to ISIC Raja Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally we have come to the end of today's event. We would like to express our appreciation to all of the honorable guests and participants from Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, Bangladesh, Philippines, Russia, and Africa for contributing to the success of the 8th International Conference on Sustainability 2023. Thank you very much, and please join us again tomorrow for the second day of the conference. I'm Iwan Darmawan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. For information, online presenter can join us in the Zoom meeting platform from 1 hour time in the breakout room. The Paris session will begin at 12:30 p.m. An offline presenter can proceed to the postgraduate building. Thank you.
Bapak Ibu untuk panitia untuk makan siangnya ada di Pascasarjana, dan juga bagi undangan yang partisipan mahasiswa itu silakan ke Pascasarjana, di sana disiapkan untuk lunch. Terima kasih. Untuk panitia juga di Pascasarjana.